Hello, I'm Rhiannon Burns. I'm going to be exploring the question, how can Lompoc support the local homeless population in my podcast today? First, I will be explaining statistics in Santa Barbara County, as well as previous studies that have been conducted. I will also discuss what programs are already available. Next, I will be explaining my ideas on how we can support the homeless. Lastly, I will be conducting interviews to get an interdisciplinary approach to this challenge. I will be interviewing my good friend Erica Williams, a registered nurse, nurse practitioner, and master's student, to get her opinion from a medical perspective. Next, I will interview Dr. Fred Manzo, an English professor at Allen Hancock College and a retired school teacher principal, to ask him how students can get involved in helping our community. Santa Barbara County has various individuals from different economic, religious, political, and ethnic backgrounds. Mike Hodgkin, in his article, Number of Homeless in Santa Barbara County rises by 5%. More are veterans, more living in cars, for the Santa Maria Times, discusses the homeless point-in-time counts in Santa Barbara County in 2019 that were mandated by the state. Around 80% of homeless residents are long-term community members, showing that there are flaws in our local community that must be addressed to support our residents before becoming homeless. Additionally, county-wide, the homeless veteran population grew 83% from the year before, totaling 210 veterans in 2020. Santa Barbara has a population of around 91,500 citizens and has 914 homeless individuals. Most of the homeless population in Santa Barbara is dispersed throughout the city with downtown and beach concentrations. Lompoc has a population of around 43,000 people and counted 249 homeless individuals in the homeless point-in-time count in 2019. Most of the homeless individuals in Lompoc live in the riverbed or the chaparral. Unfortunately, there have been fires and violence in the riverbed, which has led to negativity towards the homeless community living there. Willis Jacobson explains in his article, Help Us Here, Lompoc opens triage center for homeless residents removed from the Santanez riverbed in the Lompoc record, discusses how they had only temporary services which only lasted 30 days. The town opened a triage center at River Park next to the riverbed community. Though they did connect individuals' resources for those 30 days, they did not offer them a sustainable approach. The Santa Barbara Grand Jury has published a study called Homelessness in Santa Barbara County, Our Everyday Epidemic, to meet the county's goals. The jury suggested that the county work with nonprofits and government agencies, as well as faith-based resources. They discovered that there are 4 different housing types, starting with the short-term solutions, such as emergency shelters, including county, city, church-run facilities, and other nonprofits. The next level of housing focuses on assisting the homeless with finding more permanent housing while staying in a temporary transitional home. The third type, rapid rehousing, offers a short-term solution for those that need a chance to get resituated financially or while they are in between jobs. The ultimate goal of the housing process is to reach permanent home. The cities that have the largest homeless populations have requested funding from the state. In the UCSB study, the regulation, resistance, dynamic, and ethnographic study of RV living in Santa Barbara, California by Michelle Wakin offers an extensive resource that has a sensitive and respectful account of a student's experiences getting to know the RV community in Santa Barbara. She found many individuals living in RVs shared resources with others, creating connections and safety nets within the homeless community. Wakin states, seeing single homeless individuals lending their RVs to single mothers with children while they slept in their car. Additionally, some individuals will let others stay with them to help maintain the vehicle or prepare meals. Wakin discovered reasons to live in an RV include ties to a larger community, a sense of ownership, privacy, as well as increased safety and social capital. Unfortunately, most shelters do not accept pets, which is another reason for homeless individuals with animals to stay in a vehicle instead of using emergency shelter services. Living in an RV comes with surprising challenges, such as the cost to maintain the vehicle and the scarce safe parking spots. The Santa Barbara Independent article, Santa Barbara's Safe Parking Program to Expand as More Loose Housing Amid Pandemic, explains the logistics of the Safe Parking Program. The program collaborates with businesses and organizations in the Santa Barbara County to secure safe overnight parking for homeless people. The program has housed over 600 individuals in 11 years. Participants of the program must reapply each month to keep their vehicle space. Right now, the program has over 25 sites in Santa Barbara, which are open for participants from 7 in the evening to 7 a.m. the next day. Each parking site has monitors to support residents, as well as access to bathroom facilities. Since living in rural areas comes with specific difficulties, I will next explore studies that should detail the rural homeless experience for homeless youth as well as homeless women. In the article, Developing Models of a Good Practice and Meeting the Needs of Homeless Young People in Rural Areas, a research study performed in Australia in 2005 explains the unique challenges of homeless youth in Australia. Though it is in a different continent, what they found is relevant here as well. They found small towns are often less accepting of different lifestyles and can be hostile to queer youth or people of color. There is often a lack of understanding of what resources are available and how to apply or even who qualifies. Additionally, many small towns do not have specific resources for youth and are not equipped to support them. Also unique to small towns can be the stigma of a youth's reputation or their family status in their town, which can sometimes cause challenges for youth trying to find employment. I agree that we need steps before someone becomes homeless, such as what the Australian study mentioned. It's also important to involve the homeless population in their support plans. By collaborating with the homeless, the city can help them more meaningfully while also reducing the stigma around the riverbed community. The article, Comparisons of Rural and Urban Homeless Women, discusses the specific challenges in rural communities, such as a lack of childcare services, the enforcing of gender stereotypes, and often no access to public transit. Both studies of homeless youth as well as homeless women found reasons to stay in a small town, though, such as community connections, friendship, and family or faith connections. The study, Homeless Women in Public Spaces, Strategies of Resistance describes how homeless women use spaces that homeless individuals are often stigmatized for using. The researchers find, quote, the homeless women in this study presented themselves as legitimate users of public spaces in 3 ways: through efforts to retain their pre-homeless identity, through the presentation of a respectable self which rendered their homelessness invisible, and by disidentifying with other more stigmatized homeless people. That study was conducted by Casey, Goudie, and Reeve in 2008. The study, Teaching Engineering Concepts Through Socially Relevant Contexts, Serving the Homeless with Smart Tiny Homes by Scott Bartholomew, Vanessa Santana, and Greg Strimel, explains the benefits of involving students in supporting the homeless. Involving youth in this process broadens their sense of community by seeing homeless individuals as legitimate town citizens. It allows them to accomplish a special project in school that benefits their town and its citizens. Still in the middle of a global pandemic, Lompoc has not met the needs of the town's most vulnerable. Lompoc has spent over $500,000 on the cleanup in 2018, which is not sustainable. Instead, the town needs to look for ways to prevent more people from losing their homes and housing our homeless community. In small towns, connections between schools and local businesses and organizations can be very useful. The article, Teaching Engineering Concepts Through Socially Relevant Contexts, Serving the Homeless with Smart Tiny Homes, discusses the options of high schoolers learning necessary skills to design and build tiny homes. I know this is something that we could do here in Lompoc. Currently, the Vandenberg Air Force works with the Lompoc School District to have an aerospace class at the Vandenberg Middle School where students learn the basics of spaceship design. Students could team up with professionals in housing development to use design skills to help their community by working on a shipping container homes or tiny homes in a similar hands-on class setting. Also, as I learned about the safe parking program, I started to think about how a similar plan could work here in Lompoc. Currently, there are several parking lots that could operate a safe parking program overnight. I believe several churches could probably be interested in supporting a safe parking program and allow the use of their space. Additionally, I wondered how could the community bring resources to the individuals that need them the most. I believe by having a community holistic wellness fair, the town could work together to support our homeless population. Many homeless individuals do not have regular access to health care and could benefit from having free medical care and a safe setting. It's important to respect the individuality of each participant and recognize that each person has a social and emotional needs outside of their basic needs like food and shelter. The fair could also be held at both Ellen Hancock Community College to support the students at risk of homelessness, and additionally, a fair could be held at River Park next to the Riverbed homeless community where they opened the temporary triage center. The fair would have resources such as mental health professionals, social workers, and nurses. Also, the fair would feature self-care stations for participants to meditate, create artwork, or relax in a safe, non-judgmental setting. Another important resource to have would be veterinary services for homeless animals with their human companions at the fair. I asked both my guests Dr. Manzo and Erica Williams their opinions on how we can best support our homeless community, and I asked their suggestions about the Holistic Wellness Fair. Those interviews are in their own separate videos. Thank you.